Hello, Cross Watcher. Welcome to the Aries Cross Watcher reading. Cross Watcher reading. I am Marlo if you're new, and if you're family, okay. Welcome back, my friend, and whatnot or whatever. If you're not familiar with these, I used to do these years ago on my channel. I felt compelled to bring them back. You know what I'm saying? But the way that you watch these is the first row of cards is, of course, going to be speaking to you, Cross Watcher. The second row is going to be speaking to the Aries person that you are cross-watching. You're trying to get information on what the heck's happening between the two of you guys because you're confused and have no idea what the hell's happening. You know what I'm saying? But anywho, let's go ahead and jump in. So the first card out for you, Cross-Watcher, we have the Four of the Cuppies. Then we have, oh goodness, the Knight of Chalices in the reverse. That keeps coming out a lot. Then we have the King of Pentacles in the reverse. Oh my goodness. Okie dokie, Cross Watcher. So what is looking like with this Four of Cups? There is a bad habit that needs to be broken, but I feel you, in reference to your Aries person, you guys are kind of repeating a pattern here. And so you guys are approaching and dealing with each other and fraternizing with each other in a same kind of karmic-y cycle, right? Meaning that even though there's evolution and growth maybe between the two of you, maybe you're into different things, whatever the case, it's just how it is that you two are responding to each other, like, you know, the comings and goings of the connection between the two of you, nothing's really changing there. And someone, and this is, of course, your line of cards, so it would be speaking to you, there's a change that needs to be made on your side. Not saying that it's going to change the person, but in order to get you out of this dynamic, like if you want, you know, something different, you have to do something different. But I feel the way that the two of you are kind of commingling with each other is it's not really healthy, because it's kind of like enabling each other and it's keeping both of you kind of stuck. You know what I'm saying? So of course, since I'm saying this to you, it's more or less saying that the power is in your hands to where you can change the dynamic of this within the context of not playing into it, if I could say it that way. But with this Knight of Cups in the reverse here, I want to clarify this actually, because I feel two things. Like whenever I feel two competing things, one side of this, it's saying to me that there isn't communication from this person. Like you're waiting for this person to say something or do something or make some sort of gesture. You know what I'm saying? To show that things are progressing and moving forward. However, that isn't happening. But then on the other side of this, it feels to me like you're neglecting yourself because of this. Like it's almost like, and I've seen this with a lot of other signs, it's a lot of time, effort, and energy is spent on thinking about this person, wondering about what's going on with the connection, wondering what they're doing, where is this going? Like it's a lot of stuff like that that's kind of spinning through your mind a lot, to where you've kind of put yourself on the back burner and you've made this person like a priority, and you've made yourself secondary to this person or this connection or their behavior or whatever the case. It's like you're not really caring for yourself like you used to. What is this? Constancy. Oh man. And it came out in the reverse. So yeah, dude, the whole thing with this is really speaking to self-neglect. Is literally speaking to self-neglect. And I feel also with this though, it's almost like this has been going on for a while now. Yeah, this has been going on for a while now. I'm not hearing if it's like years. I mean, I don't think it would be like months or anything. I don't think it's a decade either. I think the shortest amount of time would be maybe 9 months to a year at the least, and maybe like a year, like, and then all the way up. I don't really feel that it teeters into like a decade or anything. Like it feels like something that's old new. That's why I say, like, it feels somewhere like around a year or a couple of years or something like that. But I feel for my cross watchers, at least, you guys were waiting to turn a page with this. Like, y'all were waiting for things to kind of shift or change, or you just felt that like things would switch into gear. And I see that happen a lot in relationships, where it's the thought of, if you stick it out, then things are going to change ultimately. But I feel it's like the time that you've spent in this, putting energy into it, or things that you've even tried to change, really. It, like, because my attention is being brought back to this Four of Cups. It's like how I say, it's like there's a need to break bad habits. It's like I feel that you guys have made changes, like, to make the situation better, but I feel the thing that you didn't know is the changes that you've made have just kind of helped to perpetuate the same cycle that you guys are in. It hasn't really changed much, and you're neglecting yourself in the process, right? But it's like this has been going on for a while. Like, this isn't just like something new and fresh that just happened. Like, this is something that's been happening for literally a while. And it's like, I think it's interesting with this card coming out in the reverse, because upright, it would be talking about difficult times coming to an end, and it's not. And with that clarifying the Knight of Cups, it's saying in two ways. It's like, if you were waiting for this person to make some big grand gesture, it's like that's delayed. And if, you know, you've been neglecting yourself, that's something that would continue to be perpetuated. You feel what I'm saying? And again, with this King of Pentacles here, it's a lot of freaking like earth energy that's been coming out for a lot of signs. With this King of Pentacles energy here, it's just feeling neglected by this person. You know, it's like neglected, and it's like this person has two gears, and it's either them like flashing out, or it's just like flat out neglect, to where you're fighting to get their attention, you're fighting to be seen, you're fighting to be heard. And on the other side of that, it's like them being aggressive and mean and saying things that are not so nice. Because I feel it's like insults and stuff. Like them, ooh, I don't like them. It feels like them hurling insults at you and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, kind of bringing up stuff and throwing it in your face. I'm not a fan of that. Okay. Getting into their energy. Oh, God. First card for them is the Devil in the reverse. That's Capricorn energy. Oh, my goodness. And then we have the Lovers. That's Gemini energy. Oh, goodness. And then we have the Three of Cups and the reverse. Okay. So, all right. So here's the thing. So the vibe I'm getting with this person, your Aries person, the vibe I'm getting with them is like, and I'm hearing it, but it's like a person who, I'm just going to say the word. The thing that's coming to me is like a person who is like a sex addict. And I don't want to use that word because I don't want to put it in the realm of like diagnosis, like, oh, this poor person, right? It's like, it's not their fault. They just have a sexual addiction. That's not at all how it is that I mean that. But it's like in the sense of them being very hedonistic, in a sense, where it's almost like it's like a person who can't keep their parts to themselves. And I think the way that they would communicate it, if they are communicating it with you, because the way I'm looking at this in relation to the Four of Cups that it's falling under, the whole repeating of bad habits here, would be them cheating a lot. So it's like them sleeping with a lot of other people. But the way that they're packaging it is like almost like they can't help themselves, or coming up with some type of explanation of how it is that they should be able to, like, I'm with you, we're together. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the way that men are built. We're supposed to have several partners, like that kind of jazz. You feel what I'm saying? And it's still in all with this lovers falling underneath this Knight of Chalices in the reverse. It's like this person isn't really, like, you don't feel chosen. Like, you don't feel like your person is your person. It's like, even if they cheated past tense and aren't doing it now, it's almost like that's the aura in the air. It's like anytime you don't hear from them, or you know, they're out with friends or something, there's always this thought that they are gallivanting out with other people. You feel what I'm saying? And child, look, I'm getting all up in somebody energy. I don't know who I'm picking up on, but there's a comparison trap in this as well for my cross watcher, because if they, like, okay, the person or people that they cheated or cheat with, right? Or even looking at exes or something like that, there's some sort of comparison that you do with yourself to those people, and you don't, like, y'all don't look alike. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like the cross watcher would be kind of like a you know, like a conservative woman, or like a plain Jane type of chick. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not really big into the hair and the nails and the makeup, and you know what I'm saying? Like that kind of jazz. But that's like the kind of people that he will, like, cheated or cheats, whatever the case, with the people that he like fraternizes with or has always like connected with. It's people who are, you know, like that, you know. And even when it comes to like body type, there's a difference there, and I feel like that provokes an insecurity in you as well. But the thing that's concerning for me about this is how it's affecting you as an individual. You feel what I'm saying? Because it's like, I don't even feel like I want to go there, because that's a whole thing. I don't even feel like I want to touch that with a 10-foot pole, because it's like, my thing is just kind of like, okay, so what are we doing here? Like, that's kind of where I'm at with it. Like, because child, look, because like that's the only that wants to come out of my, I can't even talk, because it's like I literally want to say, well, so what are we doing here exactly? What are we doing? What are we doing? Because I'm looking at this Three of Cups in the reverse, and that falling under this King of Pentacles in the reverse. It's like, this is literally somebody who feels justified in what it is that they're doing, but it's almost like their whole MO is like, what it is that they are doing, or, you know, have done, whatever the case, like what's happening outside of the two of you being together, like, isn't your business type of thing. Like, you shouldn't be worried about that, which is a little gaslighty. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel in some sense or another, there may be like questions that you're asking, like trying to get some sentiment of security in the connection with this person. But it's like them telling you, like, you worried about the wrong stuff, like you're focused on the wrong thing. And that's where that really gets into gaslighting territory, where it's like a person's telling you, like, you worried about the wrong stuff and you're insecure and you need to work on that, and that's a you problem type of thing. That's gaslighting. You know what I'm saying? But I'm kind of curious to where, and I'm trying not to delve into that. That's literally like my therapist brain kicking in, because I'm literally like, I want to ask so many questions, and I'm literally doing a reading. This is not a session, but I have so many questions, because I'm just like, so how are we here? Like, well, how are you feeling with this? Like, what are you wanting from this partnership? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, do you feel your needs are being met in this partnership? You know, like, it's so many questions I have in reference to this, but I feel that your person feels justified in their behavior. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like they have a very rational reason as to why. It's like, oh, this is just the way that I am type of deal. And my only question to you, cross watcher, would be if that's the way that they are, like, where do you fit into that exactly? Because if them being that way is causing trouble with you to where, you know, you're feeling a way about yourself and neglecting yourself and things of the sort, and like really desiring for this person's attention, it's like, where do you fit into that? How do you get that need met in a situation such as this? You feel what I'm saying? Now, looking at the energy between the two of you, the first card out is another one of my karmic-y cards. We have the Judgment card. Then we have the Two of Pentacles in the reverse. Oh, yeah. And then we have the Nine of Wands in the reverse. So here's the thing. I don't know what you've been through, cross watcher, prior to this person, but there's a call for you to see this situation for like what it is and to see it from like a higher perspective. And when I say a higher perspective, not saying that you gotta, you know, elevate to the ethers, but like taking a step back and really looking at the whole picture. You know what I'm saying? And asking yourself things like, is this adding to me or is this taking away from me? Right? Because in so many words, for the two of you, it's like the two of you are in an entanglement, like no BS. Y'all are literally in an entanglement, and it's like perpetuating toxicity for both of you, if that's making sense. You know, because like looking at this Four of Cups, this Devil in the reverse, and the Judgment card, it's like this is kind of like a wake-up call in the month of March to both of you of just like, hey, this whole thing that you guys are doing, it's not really healthy to either of you, because it's keeping both of you stuck in a karmic cycle. Like it's like the same song and dance, same thing over and over and over and over again type of deal. You know what I'm saying? And there's a decision that needs to be made, but I feel like I have this nagging suspicion, cross watcher, almost as if you guys have yourself in a position to where you're leaving it up to this person. Like if I were to say this in narrative form, it's almost like you would rather them break up with you because you could never break up with them. Like in order for you and this person to not be together, it would have to be them that ends things. And it's almost like your perception is like, why won't they just end it? Why won't they just tell me that they don't want me? Why don't they just tell me that they don't want to be with me? Type of thing. And the truth behind that, like the reason why you would rather them be the person that would end things is because you're afraid that if you do, that you would end up making a mistake, right? But my only thing is like people don't change overnight. People don't change overnight. They just don't. So I'm looking at if there's a pattern, there's a pathology, there's like a habituation in you guys' connection of this person being kind of community peen, you know what I'm saying? If that's a thing that's been perpetuated this entire time that you guys have been together, and your self-concept, your personal sense of security, your self-esteem has been marred by this particular situation, you feel what I'm saying? Why would it need to be this person making the decision to say that they don't want you to make you leave the situation if it's causing so much damage to you now? You feel what I'm saying? So it's kind of like that would be the thing that's keeping you there, is the fact of like, you know, I'm not happy here, and yeah, you know, they're doing this, but if they didn't care, like they wouldn't keep coming back, or they wouldn't keep, you know, trying to reach out or whatever, and even rationalizing it in your head of like, oh, you know, they're just sleeping with them. It's not like they actually care about them. It's like telling yourself stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, just as long as they take care of home type of deal, you know? So that's something that needs to be looked at, you know, because child, look, the way that this whole reading is playing out is your person is doing what they're doing, and that's what they're doing. Like, that's the type of time that they're on. I see that very clearly. And it's like they're very confident in their resolve and the stance that they're taking. You know what I'm saying? Of like, I don't even understand why you're tripping, because this is this me. Like, this is the type of time that I'm on. This is what I do. right? I care about you. I take care of you. I don't do that for them type of vibes. You feel what I'm saying? They mean nothing to me, right? But it's like, and it's reminding me, who was that? Was that Aquarius? I think that was Aquarius's cross watcher reading, where the person felt like bound, like, oh, I could never leave them because they're like my twin flame and da 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 da. Like it feels very similar to that. Like this, what I'm seeing feels very similar to that reading, where it's like this thought, like you can't leave, but you can, because you're the only thing that would be keeping yourself there, you know? And there's a need to really focus on healing here, because this Nine of Wands in the reverse is telling me two things. One, like past tense, this connection with this person is a rehearsal of past energy, like something that you've been through past tense. Like maybe there's a history of partners like this. And the main thing would be like emotional unavailability, or having issues with vulnerability, or like intimacy and stuff like that, like a fear of opening up to people. It's like a consistent attraction to people like that. And my guides are telling me to say, this person isn't much different than people that you've dated prior to them. You know what I'm saying? It's like they're kind of like same pig, different coat. It's like this person is in a different makeup than people that you've dated before, but it's like at the core of it, it's the same issue. So it's a person who doesn't fully open up their heart. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't allow themselves to be vulnerable in situations, which is why they would be gallivanting with multiple people, because it's a desire to not have true connection and intimacy, because people be having emotional blocks like that. And it's a byproduct, of past trauma and things of the sort. You know what I'm saying? And whenever people are fraternizing with multiple people, it's because they like superficial relationships, because they can't function in like a monogamous person to person type of partnership. You know what I'm saying? Because it requires too much depth, and they're not really trying to go that deep. You feel what I'm saying? So it's easier to have like short, very physical kind of connections with people. Because when it comes to emotional intimacy with a person, you have to be self-aware to open up. And then there's a level of reciprocity. It's a deep bonding nature and work that comes with that. And some people just aren't on that type of time. However, we still have to take it to the cross watcher. I don't know what is going on in my throat, child. We have to bring it back to the cross watcher, because you were, the person who's listening to me, and taking into account, the fact that there's a level of attraction to people that are like this, and where that comes from. And I said that with another sign as well. You know what I'm saying? And at the bottom of the deck, I don't know what is happening. That's Aries energy, the Magician. This is so strange. The last, I think 3 signs that I did, my voice started going. Am I sharing too much tea? Is that what's happening here? But anywho, so we have the Magician at the bottom of your deck here. So here's the whole thing. The person, your Aries person has power in this connection, and they're pretty much kind of like I don't want to say puppet master, but it's like they kind of hold all the cards in this particular situation. But the only reason why it's like that is because you've given them that power. On the flip side of this, I feel like this is saying you have just as much power as this person. You know what I'm saying? But you have to step into it and realize it. Like you're not really at the will of this particular situation. You're not, because this person is very, I don't know, the whole theme for the month of March for the the signs I'm reading for. It seems like all the people that I've done so far are extremely self-centered. Like they are focused on themselves and what makes them happy, and being in control of the relationship to be in service to them. But I'm seeing repeatedly that the cross watchers are not on that type of time. And the whole thing is like your person is doing what they want to do, And you should be doing what you want to do and not necessarily being at the will of them doing what they want to do. So it's like them being who they are. If a person being who they are is disempowering to you, it's like that's kind of a time where it's like we should probably go our separate ways type of deal. But I can't tell that to anyone because, like I say, to each its own. People, have different tolerance levels for different things. So I'm saying for this in particular, the way, going back to what we were saying in the very beginning with this Four of Cups and putting that together with this Magician, it's like the way that you break the pattern or the cycle that you and your Aries person are caught in is by you standing in your power and not enabling this situation. Because the way that it's looking now, things are the way that they are, and you're disempowered because you're a part of that cycle. You know what I'm saying? You have to step outside of the fold if you ever want to see anything change, and not meaning in the context of if you empower yourself, suddenly your person is going to stop, having orgies or whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's not saying that, but it's like, it's you making yourself a priority, because I feel like my cross watchers aren't doing that. It's like you're sacrificing yourself for the benefit of this person. And the Oracle card that came out for you guys is retreat. It's time to disconnect from the world. Legit. I feel that you guys need to kind of take a step back and get clear on what it is that's happening here and how it is that we got to this point, and how and why it is that you're making your person more important than you are, because that's what it's looking like to me. The other card that came out for you guys is Dragonfly, and it says, be lighthearted, finding out, things coming to light, adapt, change, heal. Dead ass. That's exactly what I was saying. Because the thing that you don't want, that makes me think of this Nine of Wands in the reverse. The thing that you don't want is everything that you've been through to take you completely out of alignment with yourself and embitter you. You feel what I'm saying? But I feel you guys really need to take a step back and really look at this situation, because Crosswatcher, what I'm clearly seeing that you're doing, like, if you're a part of something like this, you are making your partner more important than yourself. It's like you're saying to yourself, I ain't shit, but they're the shit. So I'm going to sit here and suffer in silence and let them live their best life. And I'm just going to try to figure out a way to cope with it and deal with it. I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to find a way to just make this make sense. You know what I'm saying? But that's not even like the right kind of long suffering. You know what I'm saying? Like that's self-deprecation. That's the level that it's at. You know what I'm saying? So take a step back and just do a little reflection, babe. Do a little reflection. I feel like I need to give y'all some journal prompts or something. I love your face, Cross Watcher. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I will see you guys sooner than later, my friends.